Hiring developers for a startup is a challenge, especially as a non-technical founder. In today's episode, I'm going to share what are the top skills that I look for when I help hiring developers for the startups I work with. Hi, I'm Amore, founder and CEO at My CTO Friend, where founders come to learn how to build their tech startup. With this Startup Snack series available on both podcast and YouTube, we want to share the essential to make it easier for you to build your tech startup. And during the past few years, I've been helping many startups to recruit developers, but also CTOs and agencies. And it's hard to evaluate someone new, especially software developers. So if you are a non-technical founder, you might wonder, what are the required skills for my project? What general skills my developers must have, and what are the other ones that are nice to have? Usually when we hire a developer, we might want an expertise in a specific area. Could be the back-end development or the front-end development, or in a deep algorithm development to build an AI project, for instance. So first off, you need to choose someone based on the stage of your company. If you are hiring the very first developer, you might want to hire a full stack developer that will be able to develop on both the application side, the front end, as well as the server side, the back end. But if you already have a team of 2 to 3 developers, you might want to hire someone with dedicated skills and therefore better either on the front end side or on the back end side. Know that during the growth of your company, you will have to face some technical challenges. Fast increase of the workload on the server, large amount of data, important redesign, and sometimes value proposition that will evolve and will maybe lead you to pivot or maybe to change important aspect of your business, which can lead you to restructure the database and the entire software. So for the first employee, it's definitely better to get someone open to work on any part of your solution. And you might want to consider hiring freelancers or agencies to bring some specific expertise, like for the design aspect or the infrastructure or the deep algorithm or the AI aspect, because it's not something that you're going to do every day. Once it's done, maybe it's going to be enough. At least in the beginning, I mean. Now, talking about skills, I'm going also to cover what are the technologies and the languages that the developer should master. Personally, I recommend mainstream languages. Nowadays, the one that is the most used in recent startups is Node.js with TypeScript. It's also important to use well-known frameworks like Express.js or Nest.js to be sure that your developer apply the best practices. Other languages like Ruby on Rails or Python are good too, but it's harder to find developers. And last, a very known language, which is PHP, is to me outdated. Even if we can still do great things with this language and in a very fast manner, personally, I would not consider PHP for a long-term product. But it can be absolutely okay for an MVP, for a prototype that will be replaced later on. But languages are not the only thing to look for. To evaluate the level of a developer, it's good to ask him if he uses software testing. For instance, the methodology test-driven development, which is a great practice when you develop a small software, basically, to test the result of the main one. Then, afterwards, you code the main one. So, what is great with this methodology is that you ensure that your app will have less bug. Because as you code the main application, the test software runs in loops, telling you what's working or not. Basically, you don't need to go back and forth on testing the website and going back on your new line of code, etc. every time you're going to save a new file or change something on your code. Your testing code is running like 24/7. Basically, you launch it when you code. And it allows you to save tons of time. So that's what TDD allows you. And you know, some people will tell you that using software testing can use tons of time and waste time. But in fact, people that really apply those methodologies are able to save time and create better product. So this skill, is not a must, but it's a good skill to have at least in your team. Another skill that is really important to have in a startup is the Devops skill. In other words, the skills to manage servers. And I am not only talking about just hosting your website or your solution, but more specifically, implementing what we call the CI/CD, the continuous integration and continuous deployment. Basically, these techniques allow developers to update your website or your application automatically as soon as a new version has been tested. And these are the type of skills that allow to save tons of time on daily basis. And you will need it in your company sooner or later. Of course, sooner is the best. So in conclusion, the skills you need to look for when hiring startup developers really depends on the stage of your company. The first employee should be full stack to enable to work on any aspect of your solution. If that person also master TDD, the test-driven development, and the DevOps aspect with continuous integration and continuous deployment, that's a great sign. And that means that this person have good general experience. And don't only search for experts in the beginning. You need to have someone that will be able to help you with general skills. You know, if you need a specific expertise, you can get a contractor for it. And select someone with not only with his technical level. Look for someone that has the right mindset as well. Open-minded, open to criticism, someone creative, focus on problem solving. Someone that will also understand why and what are you building and what is the purpose behind your company. If you enjoy learning with us and want to see more, consider subscribing. Help us spread the word by hitting the like button and by sharing with your entrepreneur friends. And if you have any question or want to suggest a topic, feel free to comment down below, or you can also check out our website to learn more about our program and how you can join.